Last checked, gold is now trading at $4,463 an ounce, with silver trading at just below $70 an ounce. So I have a question for you, the audience. Yes, let's get the comment section going. I have a question. What happens first? Gold at $5,000 an ounce? Silver at $100 an ounce? Or heck, Bitcoin going to $150,000? Now, again, folks, remember this. This is a race. Who gets to that magic number first? I want to know what my audience thinks. Gold 5,000, silver 100, or Bitcoin at 150,000. Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think wins that race? I do want to call in attention to an important video that went out with Mr. Dan Bird yesterday. We talked about the Trump accounts. Now, folks, if you or anyone in your circle has a child in the next 4 years, please leverage the Trump accounts. You are going to see some amazing numbers because of compounding and time. This simple act of leveraging the Trump accounts as a family or an ecosystem, you know, they say it takes a village. This could be the thing that sets that child up for a great life. Now, you don't know what a Trump account is, go check out the video. We explain what it is, how do you qualify, when do you qualify, but most importantly was the numbers. Again, it was eye-opening, eye-popping to think about how a simple $1,000, which you never touch again, will turn into some massive amounts of money and time. Now, again, you can always add money, but again, all the details inside the Trump, inside the video with Dan Bird talking about the Trump accounts. We're starting to get more and more housing data as we wrap up the year. Got an interesting data point from Redfin talking about cancellations. Cancellations are now up to 15.1%. That is up from a 14.3% year on year. So again, up, I don't know, what's that? Almost a point, call it 0.8 of a point. Home sales are down 1% and year on year prices are up 1%. Please note that income is up. I'm sorry. No, this is home prices. Home prices are up 29 months in a row. Now, I know the doomers have told you a 38% housing crash is coming, or maybe it was a 9% or whatever they told you. But in reality, home prices have been up 29 months in a row, and it's hard to go negative when prices are up 29 months in a row. Leading the nation in cancellations was San Antonio. San Antonio, Texas, fun talk. San Antonio, Texas was one of those markets Olivia and I looked into 1031 exchanging. We actually put an offer in on 5 fourplex, maybe it was 6 fourplexes back in the day, but didn't go through. Followed by Fort Lauderdale, Fort Worth, Las Vegas, and Jacksonville. Again, these are the cities with the largest number of cancellations. JP Morgan, jumping on the bandwagon of perhaps an amazing 2026, says that if the Fed continues to loosen, that the S&P 500 might see 8,000. 8,000 if the Fed continues to loosen. And JP Morgan goes on to say, if they only cut once, we're talking about 7,000 to 7,500. Very, very interesting. This was a line item I took from a bigger economic report about wages. And again, this is unfortunately what I told you was coming and would be a very slow grind sideways. Wages have been greater than inflation for 31 months. Again, it may not feel like it, but wages have been above inflation for 31 months, which means we've had real wage growth, not just nominal wage growth. This is how housing gets more affordable, but unfortunately, we probably need another 31 months. We might only be halfway through this, which would be almost a 6-year cycle. So again, very, very interesting. Saw a discouraging number this morning. That was about multiple job holders. Apparently, according to this article, there are now 9.3 million folks who have multiple jobs. That is up 3.9 million, call it 4 million since 2020. Again, lots of people are shouldering this economy on the backs of multiple jobs. Fed Moran in the news this morning, he's talking about shelter CPI may have been distorted by the shutdown. Hasn't decided if the January he will vote 25 or 50. Again, remember Moran has dissented both of the last meetings. He had preferred a 50 basis point cut, not 25. If we don't cut, recession odds increase. Recent data should push the Fed in a dovish direction. Got more facts about loan rates. And again, when I think about the mortgage business, I think you're going to have a decent year. But first, did you know, and I did not know this, there are 2 million plus homeowners with a mortgage below 2.5. I have a lot of mortgages and none of them are below 2.5. So shout out to you if you have a 30-year mortgage below 2.5%. You essentially have 30-year money below inflation. You win. If you have a 2.1, a 2.2, you win. It's like a money glitch. There are 54% of all outstanding mortgages still below 4%. This is going to slowly change, obviously, as new mortgages are written. But yes, more than half of the outstanding mortgages are below 4%. On the other side of the equation, did you know we have 3.8 million mortgages above 7? Now, again, remember, we've been around 6.2, 6.3 most of the year, but we still have nearly 4 million people with a mortgage rate above 7. That number is interesting. I did not realize it was that big. In fact, we have 8.1 million mortgages above 6.5. Now, if the administration is successful at getting rates down and we say something below 6 or heaven forbid 5.5, it's going to get very interesting in the mortgage business. Wall Street saying, get ready. Wall Street says that the Trump administration is very clear and they will be, Wall Street anticipates Washington, aka Trump, to aim a cash bazooka at the economy to make sure that next year is a barn burner. So again, interesting talk track there. We talked about consumer sentiment on Friday and it was ugly, bad, horrible. We talked about the doom loop of social media perhaps being the reason. I went and did some more research. Do you want to know how bad it was? Well, how about these data points? Again, where were we? 50.4. Consumer sentiment, 50.4. Did you know, are you shocked that that number is 5 points below the bottom of 2022? Again, 5 points worse. How about this? For those of you that experienced the GFC, it is 8 points worse than the bottom of 2008. And for you history buffs, because I like to go back as far as I can, how about 1980? 1980 is the most unaffordable year in housing, regardless of what the doomers tell you. It still holds the record. Consumer sentiment was 11 points better in 1980, and we had 13.5% inflation. I'll say that again. In 1980, the inflation rate was over 13%, and consumers were 11 points happier. In 2008, at the depths of the great financial crisis, where you were seeing people laid off on national TV, we were 8 points better. In the depths of COVID, the consumer was 5 points better. This is why I think consumer sentiment is now garbage. It is frankly irrelevant. I do not know who is picking up the phone to talk to these survey creators, but it is clearly a very doom-looped portion of the economy. I have no idea. I mean, today's bad. I'm not trying to say today's not bad, but is it 11 points worse than 13% inflation? Is it 8 points worse than the depths of the GFC? Is it 5 points worse than shutting down the freaking economy? Are you kidding me? This is why I think it is interesting to ask questions. Next up, let's thank Mark for joining school. Again, Mark, thank you. We had somebody join school in the last day or so. I do want to address something. Yesterday on the Daily Financial News, I was very happy to announce that we will be live streaming our Vegas event inside school, and more importantly, only inside school. The last couple of years, I've sold $99 virtual tickets. We did about 10, maybe 12 grand. So I don't know what that is, 100 people, 120 people. I'm going to turn that away, and I'm not going to do that this year. I will only stream the event inside school. So if you are a school member and you can't make it to Vegas, you have kids, you have whatever, I got it. I got you. You're covered. And it's no extra cost. You just join school and get in there. What happened after I announced that is my community cares about me. My community reached out, and you can see the comments yesterday, said, Michael, you know, this is probably going to bring 100+ people to school, comma. First off, I hope it does. I actually hope giving you thousands of dollars of value inside school on that weekend makes 1,000 people join. Next, what happened after the comments, people said, Michael, people are going to join, but they're only going to join for a month or two. And you're probably right. But here's the deal. I believe, my belief is that, yes, people are going to come to our community for the $20 and with the intention of only staying a month. I fully believe that. However, I believe that our community and what we are doing will keep half of them because we're good at what we do. We have 500+ people going the same direction. We have 9 or 10 accountability groups. We have thousands of dollars in education. We're always doing live streams for Q&A. I believe if I can get 1,000 people to join school because they think they're going to game the system, I suspect we keep 500 or more. So thank you for your concern. I think it speaks volume to your character that you're concerned about me. Thank you. But I have faith that if I keep giving value and more value and more value, the community is going to grow because we attract good people. And let's be clear. If you want to spend 20 or 40 bucks to get thousands of dollars in live stream and then quit, no harm, no foul. I won't be upset. You do you. But again, I thought that was very, very interesting. I read an interesting article about happiness. Again, it's always interesting where my mind goes. I do not have a set routine in the morning. I basically open my phone when I have my first cup of coffee, and I just go on this 60 to 90 minute reading tour of the internet. And one of the articles that came across was about happiness. And I want to kind of distill the happiness down into 4 points. And I want to ask you, is happiness really this simple? If you have these 4 things, are you happy? Let me ask you. Number 1, you have something worth doing. Number 2, you have someone worth loving. Number 3, you have something to believe in. And number 4, you have something to look forward to. If you have all 4, according to this article, your chances of being happy are astronomical. So again, have something worth doing, have someone worth loving, have something to believe in, and have something to look forward to. Let me know what you think. Curious if you think that is the key to happiness. We got a Fed President Hammack was all over the news yesterday saying that the Fed should not cut in Q1. So that means no January, no March. And this is crazy. Again, Hammack is a hawk. She didn't want to cut. She dissented, but she said, we are currently below neutral. Now, I have a hard time believing that. I really do. Could we be close to neutral? Absolutely. We're probably 50 basis points from neutral. But to think that we are below neutral shows, in my opinion, how out of touch you are. Also, again, Hammack is clearly saying, I won't change my opinion unless millions of people lose their jobs. And lastly, I'll remind you that the Fed, in all their infinite wisdom, said that the peak of unemployment will be 4.5, and it is already 4.6. I don't know what to tell you. Last thing we'll talk about, again, I read some other stuff, but we'll close it on this comment, talking about rent control. One of the realities of rent control in New York City, if you don't know, is something they call ghost apartments. These are basically rent stabilized units that are vacant and the owner cannot financially update them. It doesn't make sense given the income that is possible. So New York is sitting on over 50,000 vacant units because of rent control. All righty, folks, remember, this is the daily financial news. We do it 7:30 a.m. 4 days a week, and we throw in a surprise Thursday at 7. Again, remember the question at hand as we open the video. Will gold hit 5,000? Will silver hit 100? Or Bitcoin hit 150,000 first? Who does it first? Leave a comment below. Let's blow up the comment section so we can get more and more people seeing this. And finally, of course, Steadily is the sponsor of the daily financial news. They are Landlord Insurance. In a world of high insurance, it is your job to get multiple quotes and see who gives you the best rates at the best coverage at the best rates. Folks, have an amazing day. We will be back tomorrow, Christmas week. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Don't forget to buy your tickets to our Vegas event. We're under 90 tickets. And we will stop selling them soon. So only a few seats left. Go get them. Take care. Bye.